Now, Behind the Law with Justin Clark and Allie Mack on ESPN 580 Orlando.
And welcome to the program. It's another edition of Behind the Law right here on ESPN 580 Orlando. Thank you for spending your weeknights here with us on our favorite sports radio station, attorney Justin Clark. Joining you as we do every single weeknight. You can also watch the TV shows this Saturday and Sunday. CBS, 12:30 p.m. on Saturday, it's You Have Real Estate with me, attorney Justin Clark. And then Sunday, it is this show, Behind the Law, but it's Behind the Law on television, 10 a.m. on TV 27. Also, you can watch the show every single weekday if you follow at Behind the Law Radio on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, any social media platform. You can watch us right there as well. To my right, it is New Brianna. Hello, New Brianna. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am well. How was your weekend?
It was great.
And to her right, a little further down the radio desk, it is OG Brianna. OG, you're in a different spot today.
I am. I can't even see you.
It's a little frustrating, but hey, you can kind of like look around the big monitor here, I guess, and check me out there. How was your weekend? Anything fun?
Great weekend. My husband turned 41 yesterday.
I saw that. That's pretty fantastic,
it
huh?
is. Wow.
I mean, he's a little bit older than you. I'm not doing subtraction here, but
13 years.
13 years. At what point is it
considered
robbing the proverbial cradle, so to speak?
If we had gotten married 10 years earlier, I think that probably would have raised my list.
Oh, okay. Whatever. Good for him. You know what I mean? If he can get a 27-year-old, that's good for him.
Good for him.
Very special show in store for you. If you have any questions, 321-282-1055. We're going to do the news here in just a moment. Then we'll also play Stump the Clarkie in the second half hour. And also a great interview with returning guest. It's the Rolling Rogans. Joe and Amy are here to talk about what they've been doing out on the road, cruising, going to Cuba, building the new van. Have you ever thought about, this life has gotten a little too hectic for you, and you want to consolidate a little bit and take a long road trip? Well, this is the group that you're going to want to talk to. But before we get there, it is time for What's Going On. What's going on, New Brianna?
All right, what is going on? So today, Magic Johnson is making headlines.
I saw this.
He finally gave an explanation of why he stepped down as the Lakers president. He blamed Rob Pelinka. He said that he gave him too much negativity and he was talking too much behind his back.
It's the Lakers are just an absolute disaster right now. I love seeing it. They are fantastic. I love what's going out there on the West Coast with the Lakers. I mean,
pretty sad.
It's all going to matter what happens this summer, whether if they hire or acquire any free agents or not. There's even talk about them trading LeBron James over the summer, which
right? Who would trade LeBron James?
I don't think I know that's your man, right?
It is.
So we'll see, but it's a dumpster fire out in Los Angeles right now.
Sure is. And then Game of Thrones. So yesterday was the season finale, and fans are upset.
Series finale. Like at the end of the whole thing.
Yeah, they'll come up with something
it's
else,
all
right?
Done.
So there was a misplaced water bottle, so fans are blaming bad production and bad storytelling for the entire series.
There was another deal. It wasn't a Starbucks cup this time, right?
No,
I don't watch the
bottle.
show, so I don't know. So tell me about the water bottle. I haven't even heard this.
I guess it was a water bottle that they accidentally left on the set.
Right.
And it was clearly seen in the episode.
And it wasn't supposed to be there. Yeah.
Right,
But this is happening every week
It
on
seems
this
like it.
most watched show in America.
Yeah.
Are they doing this on purpose?
Ultimately, I'm not sure why, because Starbucks, even though it was not a Starbucks cup, that coffee cup it was a coffee cup, but it was just a set coffee cup, got Starbucks over $3 billion in free advertising.
Wow.
So I'm sure they're not doing this on purpose, let's be honest.
Did the water bottle have a brand on it?
It looked like a Zephyr Hills water bottle from what I could tell.
So this isn't some new funky way of advertising. No way, right?
I mean, if it is, it's genius, guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty smart.
They're getting it. They're getting all that money.
Do you think it is? I mean, if you had to guess, do you think this is a weird way of guerrilla marketing, so to speak?
If I had to guess, I would definitely say yeah, because this show has so many eyes on it. You're not making these kind of mistakes. You're really not.
Yeah, I'd like to hear
I don't
their
see why
response.
they would just put a water bottle in the middle.
What did they respond to when the Starbucks thing happened? What was their official response?
Their official response was, it was definitely an oversight on our part. The corporate BS, blah, 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 that whole thing. And this one seemed almost planted because it was behind someone's foot. So it seemed like maybe it was their water bottle, which I feel like a production like this, maybe they should scan the set for things like water bottles.
As a marketing guy, I mean, I love the idea. I just don't know. I don't know if they're just messing up or if it's legit. I've never watched the show, though. So
I mean, it's fine. I guess the show's over, so there's nowhere else to mess up.
Yeah, I'll watch it in 2 or 3 years, maybe. All at once, you know?
Well, maybe. I don't know.
What else is going on in the news?
So the SAT, they will add an adversity score to take into account a student's socioeconomic background in regards to college admissions.
You know what stinks about the SAT now is you can't hire that guy out in LA anymore and just give him $50,000 or whatever, and he'll cheat for your kids because he got raided by the FBI.
You know that guy.
So you can't do that any longer, which really stinks for a lot of wealthy parents. You know,
not that guy.
Yeah, he's done.
I can't bribe my school. I can't pay that guy.
I mean, what can you do anymore to cheat the system?
We cannot get a shakeout here as rich
It's
people.
unbelievable.
Wow.
Anything else going on in the news today?
That is all.
Okay, good job. You're listening to Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando, joined today by some guests we very much enjoyed about 6 months ago or so. It's Joe and Amy Rogan, the Rolling Rogans. Welcome back to the show, guys. How are you?
We're doing fantastic. Thank you.
We're rolling.
That's right. All right. So, first of all, I want you to check these guys out because what they're doing is pretty awesome. What's the best way for our audience to come see what you're doing?
The rollingrogans.com and Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram and Twitter. Rolling Rogans on all of those.
Pinterest, too. For
Pinterest.
some reason.
Okay.
Once we figure that out, I'm not quite sure yet.
I don't know how to use Pinterest yet. I guess it's for like selling wallpaper or something. I'm not sure.
I'm just
No.
clicking and pinning like van life layouts and things for designing our van. So.
Okay. I mean, what is Pinterest normally for, OG?
It's for bloggers.
For bloggers?
Yeah, because if you notice, if you go on Pinterest, you click on something, what does it take you to? A blog.
We'll eventually get to that point too, yeah.
Yeah. So if you start blogging a little bit, that's probably your best resource as far as Pinterest goes.
All right. So a little history of you two. Give me the background. What happened in the past? How did you become the Rolling Rogans?
The quickie version is when we first got married. First we met in art school at SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design, and met the second day of art school, and
You were a huge distraction for 4 years. My life.
I've heard that a few times. Then we got married in 2000. Right after that, I got really sick. I've had fibromyalgia for 25 years now, and the pain just got too much, and I went into psychiatric hospitals, was suicidal, and they diagnosed me with bipolar disorder. So the first 5 years of our marriage was pretty tough, but Joe believed in me that I would get better, and he stuck with me, and I borrowed that belief, and I eventually did find the treatments that would get me better, and I did it. For over 13 years now, I haven't had any treatments, any relapses or anything like that, so I just do basic natural things to maintain, guard my mind very well, and just enjoy life now, because life's too short to worry about too much stuff.
When it comes to a mental disorder or something like bipolar disorder, do you believe in the traditional Western medicine, or do you believe in other ways to really treat that?
The Western medicine, the medications, the hospitals, those kept me alive long enough for me to find the right treatments that worked for me. So I did go more on the Eastern side. Neurotransmitter testing and neural-emotional technique are the two main things, and most Western doctors don't really do that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
So, but the medications that I was on kept me alive until I could find the things that worked for me.
Got it.
So I appreciate it.
Yeah. Joe, I mean, you must have loved her. You stuck around this long, right? I mean, what's going through your head when you're dealing with something like that?
Well, I mean, my belief is I know she'll get better because I met her at art school, and she was a different person than when we got married, and her health started to downward spiral. So I'm just a believer in, like, I'm stubborn about it too. So I stuck with her, and I've had, friends tell me that, you need to leave her. She's not going to get better. And I just really be persistent with it and do that. And also, I had to sacrifice my career in the arts to get a stable job, to have the benefits, to go that direction, which, that's what I did. I worked for Brown.
Right.
I don't know if I can say the name, and they'll get
Sure.
30 billion, advertisement or whatever. But,
UPS.
UPS. So they had really amazing benefits for that so she could find the doctors, the medicine, the things that she needed to get better. And but after that, when she was 120%, I just asked my questions like, why am I still here?
Right. Exactly.
So,
And then after the challenges, we decided it was time to maybe pack up some of our stuff, so to speak, minimize our life a little bit, and then we became the Rolling Rogans. And what an interesting story. Stick around. We're going to talk about the Rolling Rogans, Joe and Amy, right on the other side of this very quick break. It is Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando. All right. Good job.
I haven't even watched that show, Game of Thrones.
I haven't either.
have no idea
I
what's
thought I was the only dude that...
No.
I don't.
none of us watch it, right? You don't watch it either.
We got more important things to do.
Yeah. How many millions of people are watching? I don't even know what channel it's on. Is it on HBO?
It's on HBO. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't even know that.
I have like the HBO package on Amazon.
I don't even know how to get HBO anymore, honestly. What, you get it through Amazon Prime or through Netflix?
I get it through
Google?
Amazon Prime,
I don't know
but
how to
apparently
work.
there's like an HBO Now app, and they can, you can just stream it directly.
Yeah.
Or I just add it to Amazon.
All right. You guys ready?
Now back to Behind the Law with Justin Clark, right here on ESPN 580 Orlando.
Welcome back to the show. It is Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando. Watch us at Behind the Law Radio on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, any social media platform. Joined today by a very special guest, the Rolling Rogans, Joe and Amy. Welcome back to the program.
Thank you very much.
So we talked about some of the health issues that you had in the early part of your marriage. How did the Rolling Rogans really get started, and what is that?
Joe, you want to take it?
It goes further back. I mean, it's not like, after she gets better. We were up in New Jersey before we moved down here to Florida. So there's a lot more to story. And there'll be a book, a movie, and so forth, everything that, we do. But, I went from leaving UPS to becoming a bartender to owning a yo-yo company to kind of getting a taste of what entrepreneurship is through that. Have no degree in business or anything, but just a vision to work together and do something together. So that's kind of what pulled us down here to Florida. And then when we went to here in Florida, I owned the yo-yo company for a while, and then we started our own company in a homemade granola bar business, and then we went into coffee, into catering. So we pivoted a lot and changed a lot from that direction. But I think where Rolling Rogans came from was a multimillionaire gave us that suggestion, and I rocked with it. I just rolled with it.
Right.
I mean, no pun intended.
And then at some point, you guys went on a long road trip. Tell me about that.
Yes. In 2017, Joe gets these ideas and visions, and I'm just like, wait, what? What are we doing? So he said we had to go on a road trip for our business, and we had our little Honda Fit, and we fitted it with a platform so we could car camp, shades and everything, so we'd park at truck stops and things like that. So we did 27 states, about 8,400 miles in 8 weeks, and that was our practice run, if you will. Joe, let's just go. And so we went up the East Coast, across the Central, down to San Diego, and then back. And it was way out of my comfort zone, ups and downs. And I think that's part of where the rolling starts to come, is that, one, being on the road, two, life's ups and downs. It just keep going through it no matter what happens. And then through all of that, we had some financial troubles too. We just finished our bankruptcy, which was a very fascinating experience.
Yeah.
Not at all what I expected it to be. And the support that we got from some of the millionaire friends we have and things like that. Oh, yeah, it's no big deal. I'm like, what? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And so just rolling through all that and inspiring people to help with that as well. So it's on the road and it's rolling through life.
So, but when Joe first came to with the idea, we're going to take a really long road trip and sort of document it until the time you actually got in the car and took off. What was the lead time on that?
I think maybe a month or two.
So pretty quick.
Yeah.
Pretty quick, Greg. Okay.
Yeah, we learned to move fast.
I don't wait. It takes a while for her to catch up.
And you said you fit the Honda Fit with what now? What was that?
Okay, so we took the back seats out,
Okay.
and we built a platform. So I've been in the fashion industry for 18 years, but I'm also kind of like an engineer of fashion and apparently car parts. And so we built this like platform. So we had storage underneath for all of our camping equipment and our coffee that we were using and selling. And then we were able to push the front seats forward and lay out flat. And I made, since I'm a pattern maker, I made shades so we had full privacy sleeping in there. And it was quite comfortable. It was 39 inches wide to sleep in.
Now, every single one of us have, gotten upset at work or felt stressed out, and we've all wanted to go on this road trip like you went on, right? But what are some of the biggest challenges of being on a trip that long, and was it fun? Would you recommend it?
Oh, yeah, no question about recommending that. The biggest challenges, that was the fun part, was I'm a planner, so the biggest challenge for me was purposely not planning certain parts, so we'd either get lost and have to figure our way out, and just go with the experience. That was the biggest challenge for me. How about you?
Well, I would say also that we have a house at the time we had a house. There's going to be more story to that, but that's also like something that was like more of a liability on your mind, because what we did is we put it on Airbnb. So on the road travels, we're trying to make sure that our guests get a pleasant stay and we get a good response back.
And we make money.
And we make money off of that because we have that lingering. But a lot of times I did forget about it on this journey. I mean, who stays at Rod Smith's house from the Denver Broncos?
Right.
Random things that we did not expect.
Random things just happened, and it was just like, it's just that more belief and trust in doing things that you really want to do and what you desire to do. Just go on it. So the perceived challenges were completely outweighed by the cool experiences, that seeing the total solar eclipse, staying at an NFL Super Bowl champion's house. I'm just completely random things were awesome
amazing.
Guy, by the way. Very humble.
It's Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando. Justin Clark here talking to the Rolling Rogans, Joe and Amy Rogan. So when you go on a trip like that, right, is it one of these deals where you have the flip open map still and you sort of map out your deal, or is it does no one use that anymore? Because my
Digital
vision,
age.
of course, has the flip open maps that you buy at the convenience store, but obviously in 2019, is that what year it is?
Yeah.
2019. We have google.com or maps.google.com and all that. How did you really map out the trip?
There's a Gas Buddy gives you a way to map it out a little bit for the main part of the road trip, but we left it open so that we could deviate wherever. And the biggest problem we had, I think, was somewhere in South Dakota to Nebraska, where we lost service.
Oh, yeah.
And luckily, my dad did print out some maps for us.
Nice.
After we left Wisconsin. But we didn't know where gas stations were. We could see we were on the road, and there were beautiful sunflower fields everywhere, but that was about it.
Did you ever get close to running out of gas when there was just like...
I was sweating.
Yeah?
yes. And I was being nonchalant. I was like, we got this. But I was like looking at the gauge, and I'm like, there's nothing in sight.
What do you do in that situation? I mean, first of all, you just pray, obviously, but if you if you run out of gas, I mean, it could be a while before someone comes along, right?
Yeah.
We had food in our car.
We just had faith that everything would work out.
Did you ever count how many states that you went through of the 48 states, other than Alaska and Hawaii? How many did you hit?
It was 27.
27, pretty good.
We count the little corner of Wyoming that we hit.
Sure, you went through it.
Oh, there was a great diner there.
Oh, is
the
that right?
luxury diner, cinnamon buns.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm going back.
And what landmarks or stops really stood out on this trip?
The giant,
the Jolly Green Giant,
Jolly Green Giant
in Minnesota.
Yeah.
What was that?
We Road Trippers app. We just were randomly driving through Minnesota, so we're like, what's off this side of the road?
Jolly Green Giant exists.
Right.
Yeah.
And there it was.
Yeah. And then Carhenge in Nebraska, where we saw the solar eclipse.
Oh, wasn't that a good spot to watch it? Apparently,
it was amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And did you plan it that way, or it just sort of worked out?
Yeah, we were planning on going through Nebraska around that time, but we shifted one day so that we could align with the solar eclipse.
Wow. Another trip now planned fairly soon, or you're in the early stages of planning it. What's the next adventure?
Well, it's not really a trip. It's more of a lifestyle.
Okay. Talk to me.
So we just sold our house.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Congrats.
Thank you very much. We have a very clear vision of what we want to do now. And once we figured that out, things are moving very quickly. So we did the bankruptcy, got that cleared, and then we sold the house. We listed on a Friday, got a cash offer on Monday, closed on Tuesday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And it was for the price that we wanted.
And
so
do you have to be out on Wednesday, or did they give you a little time?
we actually worked out a deal that we had our Airbnb was booked all the way through
Okay,
June. So we worked out a deal with them that our guests were all taken care of. And we didn't have to cancel anybody. We had that time to move out, and the new owners get a little cash from it too.
Beautiful. Plenty more ahead with the Rolling Rogans, Joe and Amy, and also Stump the Clarkie, all on the other side of this very short break. It is Justin Clark on Behind the Law.
I love that Stump the Clarkie.
Yeah, right?
That's great.
You'll probably win. You'll enjoy beating me here in just a minute. All right, so they gave you the cards, right?
Oh.
So we'll write all 4 answers. Do you have pens? Oh. Wow, we have a ton of Sharpies and pens in here. Oh, no. Dose.
So do people ask the questions?
Oh, no, I do.
Ah, okay.
All right, you guys ready?
Now back to Behind the Law with Justin Clark, right here on ESPN 580 Orlando.
Welcome back to the show. Justin Clark here with you for another edition of Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando. Don't Stop Believing reminds me of, come on, what's the name of the show? It was in the last episode.
Glee?
No. The Mafia show on HBO. It ended like
Sopranos.
The Sopranos, right?
I didn't
But
show I didn't watch.
Yeah. See, that's what I did watch, but I picked it up late in the game because when everyone's talking about something, I feel like a sellout and I don't want to start watching it. But it makes me think. Do you guys have any thoughts on the finales of shows? Because Game of Thrones, I guess, was just recently, like the worst or best finales of any show that you've ever been into. I think The Sopranos was pretty good. Everyone tells me Game of Thrones was like, eh? And none of us here watch that, so we can't really speak on it. What about Seinfeld? And probably us 3 are the only ones going to be able to talk about this because these 2 are a little too young.
We're old enough.
Seinfeld was not a great finale, I don't think. Great show, but maybe not the best finale. So I don't know.
I don't remember it.
Yeah.
I do.
Sorry.
I remember. That was when everybody
It's been a
was
while.
watching that other show. What was it? And then so nobody would be. Well, no, they went to jail.
Yeah,
because of that Good Samaritan
exactly.
Act. That's what
It wasn't a great finale, I don't think either. But anyway, I'm here with the Rolling Rogans, Joe and Amy. We're going to play a little Stump the Clarkie, and then we'll go back to their journey out on the road and see what they're up to. You ready to play?
Sure.
It's a very quick game. It'll be 4 questions, and they like to come up with categories that I don't know anything about, and you will. So they want to see you win and beat me.
Oh boy, pressure.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, we try to win. We're not really keeping score here. I don't know how my record is, but what do you think? What percentage of times do I win, Brianna? Would you say?
I would definitely say at least 75% of the time.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
But I get lucky. Just like I did on the Florida bar exam.
So we.
All right, and now it's time for Stop the Clarkie. Come on, Clarkie. We need you to get over here. We've got some great trivia questions we want you to answer. Come on, Clarkie. Get over here.
And the Massachusetts bar exam, too. Took them at the same time. I did a lot of praying, I think, those days. All right, what is the category today, ladies?
All right, today's trivia is all about personal development and travel.
Okay.
I like those.
You guys are in luck today. All right, what is question number 1?
How much revenue is generated each year in the personal development industry?
Eesh. Oh, no.
Oh, man.
I like are these new Sharpies?
I know that on travel, but I don't know that on
Are
personal.
these new?
I'm gonna
No,
just-
they're old.
I need
We've
to
never
steal
used
a couple of
Sharpies.
these from my office.
Oh, no.
Do you mind? Just one. I can't take one?
No. Get your own Sharpies.
Okay.
He's going to take one, guys.
I'm already putting this one in my pocket.
He said, okay. That just means I'm going to take it.
All right, question number 2.
What % of U.S. vacationers travel by car?
I'm about to do a 10-hour road trip with my 1-year-old next week. See how that
Whoa.
goes. My
Where you
6-year-old's going too, but Sophia's going to be fine. I know it's the 1-year-old Mila that we're a little concerned about.
Where you guys going?
We go to Tennessee for what's that holiday coming up?
Right.
Memorial Day every year. Same trip every year, but this is the first time. Mila went last year, but she was like 3 months old, so she was fine. Now she's like all over the place.
Do you go past Rock City?
Oh yeah, we you know what? We haven't gone to Rock City yet. Did you go through there?
Oh yeah, it's freaky.
We went to Ruby Falls last time.
Oh, wow.
That's close by.
Yeah, I want to go there.
In Chattanooga. Ruby Falls is pretty cool.
There's a Starbucks on top of Rock City.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And there's these freaky dioramas
Oh,
with
okay.
little figurines and stuff.
Rock
kinda
City is where you like see 7 states or something from one spot, right?
Yeah,
There's 6
yeah.
states. Yeah, we might check that out this year. We'll see.
It's
went-
random and fun.
Yeah, exactly. Question 2 we already got, right?
Yeah. We
Question 3.
What is the market value of the personal development industry?
Wait.
The first question was about revenue. How much revenue is generated?
Let me change my life. Okay.
And question number 4 for Stump the Clarky.
How many Americans use RVs as their primary residence?
I want to try that once, but
Really?
I never have. Oh, for their primary residence?
Yes.
We have a lot of friends that are full-time RVers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do they normally leave them parked or they drive them around mostly?
Depends what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
We have friends from college that have been full-time RVers for about 7 years, and they have an online course of how to transition.
What?
It's fantastic. It makes it so much easier for us.
Oh, RVers. You know what?
I think I'm a little low on this one, but
I might be.
What was the question again?
repeat that question, please.
How many Americans use RVs as their primary residence?
All right, you ready to score this game?
Yeah.
You're listening to Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando. Justin Clark here with new Brianna and OG Brianna talking to the Rolling Rogans, Joe and Amy Rogan. What was the category today?
The category was personal development and travel.
All right, question number 1. Let's do this.
How much revenue is generated each year in the personal development industry?
Did you guys play together or separately?
We played separately,
Okay.
but our first answer matches.
Okay, I got you. All right,
We
what?
didn't do that
I'll
on
go with Amy Rogan first. What did you have?
I said $3 trillion.
$3 trillion. Joe?
I said 3 trillion.
$3 trillion. All right. I feel like it might be a little high. What do you think, OG?
Might be a little low. I said 800 million.
800. Oh, you think you're low now?
Well, I switched it because we had a revenue answer and
Yeah,
then like a
I
whole.
know.
Yeah, so I switched my answers.
I went in the middle. I went with 2 billion. We have a million, a trillion, and a billion. So I'm pretty sure someone's pretty far off. And we've never had an answer in the whole history of this program with a million, billion, and trillion. What is the right answer?
$1 billion.
$1 billion.
wow.
I
Well, that
have.
would make sense. It's
Wait.
like the 1%.
Are you
Yeah.
closer then?
Right.
You had 800
I-
million?
I had 800. Oh, that's right. I'm close. I
Nice.
win.
Yeah,
All
she's
right. Brianna pulls ahead. I was about to take that one, but you're right. All right. Question 2.
What % of U.S. vacationers travel by car?
All right. Let's start with Joe Rogan on this one. What did you say?
I said 35%.
35%. Brianna,
73.
you went with 73%. Justin Clark went with 73%. Yeah. How in the world do we have the exact same number? I don't know. Amy Rogan, what do you have?
I went with 40%.
40%. So you guys are low, we're high. I don't know who the winner is here today. What is the right answer?
76%.
76%. All
Wow.
right. One
Split
for
that with you.
Brianna. I'll split the point with her. So it's 2-1, and the Rogan's trying to get on the board here. Going into question 3.
What is the market value of the personal development industry?
All right, Brianna, we'll go with you here first on this one.
I
What do you
said
have?
9 billion.
9 billion. Justin Clark went with 20 billion. Rogan, Amy Rogan. What do you have?
I didn't have one. I couldn't figure that one out.
And if you judge by your first answer, it would have to be something like whatever is above trillion. What did Joe say?
I just didn't have an answer.
Okay, no answer on that one. So what is the right answer?
$10 billion.
$10 billion. What did you have, Brianna?
9.
9 billion?
9.
All right, so you're killing me now. So it's 3 for Brianna, 1 for Justin Clark, and the Rolling Rogans are trying to roll into their first correct answer here.
Yeah, we suck.
I feel bad about question 4. All right, what is question 4?
How many Americans use RVs as their primary residence?
I went with probably way too low, 75,000. Amy Rogan, what do you have?
Oh, I did a percentage. I did
Okay.
it wrong.
Is it a percentage or is it a number?
No, it's a number.
It's a number. All right, fill in a number. We'll give you a minute. OG Brianna's going to
God, I said
talk about something. Talk about your
Yes.
weekend.
So, went to a wedding, which was great.
He had to go to a wedding on his birthday?
No. I mean, there's multiple days in the weekend.
Oh,
Justin,
okay.
so,
Not if you work Saturdays like I do.
Yeah, this is also true.
All right, what was question 4 again?
How many Americans use RVs as their primary residence?
Amy Rogan, what do you have?
I went 50,000.
50,000. Joe Rogan, what did you say?
3 million.
3 million.
Oh, thank
OG Brianna.
I said 1 million. I was
1
like, God.
million. I went low as well. I went with 75,000. What is the right answer?
1 million.
1 million.
Million?
Yeah.
Is that
got
you
it.
again? Oh. Is that you again?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I'm
Good
gonna
job.
frame this.
I know.
We just do it. We don't know the statistics.
4-1. OG Brianna takes home the victory today. Congratulations
Go,
to
OG.
you, OG Brianna. I'll have multiple bottles of water to give you here a little bit later.
I'm out. I'm leaving.
And
Bye.
thank you for playing Stump the Clarky. We'll be right back with more Rolling Rogans right on the other side of this break. It's Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando.
Okay, folks, thank you so much for being with us. Clarky, let's get out of here, buddy. My stomach thinks my throat's cut.
we were
I'm
way up.
starving.
I was so sure I was too high. I was like, you guys were like 70,000. I was like, oh my gosh, maybe they just over anticipated the amount of people that live in RVs. Maybe they're just traveling.
Well, no, I was thinking of our friends that have the online course, and they've already got 30,000 followers. So I'm like, wait, no, that my number was way low. So yeah.
Well, I also think in my head, I lumped in the amount of people that live in Mobile,
That's true.
which is not,
Yeah.
probably was not the answer to the question, but whatever. 1 million. Hey, everybody. That's watching. Jeff, good game. Good game. He said 20 billion.
20 billion?
Billion for revenue.
All right, you guys ready?
Now back to Behind the Law with Justin Clark, right here on ESPN 580 Orlando.
Welcome back to the show. One more segment ahead of Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando. Justin Clark here with you as we are every single weeknight at 8 o'clock p.m. You can also watch the show on social media. Follow at Behind the Law Radio on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, any social media platform. And also the television shows. DVR them this Saturday at 12:30 p.m. It is You Have Real Estate with me on CBS. And then Sunday it is this show, Behind the Law, but it's Behind the Law on television at 10 a.m. on TV 27. Brianna, why are you trying to steal the Sharpie, man?
No, why are you trying to steal the Sharpie?
Because I already have another one that I'm definitely pocketing. And for some reason, I feel like at the end of the day, I paid for these on Amazon somehow. Did I not?
Actually, you did not.
What, you paid for them?
No.
What are you, like a Florida teacher? You've got to buy your own supplies?
Whoa, that's a low blow.
It's not a low blow. I mean, I love teachers. I'm saying I don't like the fact that teachers
Too
have to buy
soon?
their own supplies.
Yeah, I know. Me either. Maybe we should give these to some teachers.
So where did they come from then?
Ali Asmar paid for these
Why would he pay for them?
because I asked for them.
I'm sure I paid for them. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm taking a Sharpie.
It wasn't your Amazon account. I charged it to.
I'm taking a Sharpie, damn it. Yeah, it was my Staples account.
It was not your Staples account. It was Ali Asmar's Amazon account.
Anyway, I will save you from the Brianna and I fight. And we joined by very special guests today, the Rolling Rogans, Joe and Amy. Back to the show again. I saw in the parking lot an amazing looking van. Right?
Yes.
Do we have some pictures of that? I want to show the audience. Go to Behind the Law Radio. You can see the new van that they have. So what's the plan with this van? What are you guys going to do?
Joe?
You're the plan. You're the one that likes to plan. I'm getting a swivel seat in tomorrow.
Is the plan to go on another road trip with it? Is it to live there?
Yes,
What's
this is
the
our new.
ultimate goal?
This is our new home.
Okay.
So since we sold the house, this is our new home. Basically, the minimal lifestyle. So less stuff. So we're downsizing our stuff, downsizing our like house responsibilities.
Yeah.
We don't do yard work. And we're upsizing our experiences. So a lot of traveling, a lot of meeting people, inspiring people, all sorts of different things. So yeah, just living simple and we're also involved in the getting involved in the tiny home industry.
Right.
So it's our tiny home on wheels.
And I was thinking about that because you see the new TV shows where people are downsizing to this tiny house or whatever. I mean, it's a similar concept, I guess, that you're doing here, right? But did you ever figure out how many square feet were in your house versus what you're going to now?
Our house was 1,250 square feet, and I think this is just under 100 square feet.
100. So what's a hotel room? Like 300 square, like a regular hotel room, probably about 300 square feet or something?
Somewhere around there. We just went on a cruise to Cuba, and everybody's like, oh my God, you got an inside cabin. It's so tiny. I'm like, that was 3 times the size of our van. So we're, woo.
You had plenty of room to spread out.
Oh,
huh?
yeah, it was plenty.
How was Cuba?
Oh, it was amazing. It was once in a lifetime experience for me.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
You just you don't know what it'll be like. If it'll still be available to visit. So it's just one of those opportunities. But the lifestyle and the culture. I mean, yes, the buildings are pretty much dilapidated or like really old, but the people find a sense of being happy. I mean, we took an excursion with the cruise. But before that, we did a horse and buggy tour to get more local feel and meet the people.
Sure.
And we got to, eat at a 4-table restaurant.
Which is privately owned, not government owned.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then our carriage driver also figured out we wanted to learn Spanish, so he was giving us a private Spanish lesson, which was fantastic. Yeah, it was really cool to be around the local environment and see how happy the people are.
So who should follow and how do I follow the Rolling Rogans?
Well, we've got our website, rollingrogans.com, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and soon to be Pinterest. All at Rolling Rogan.
And TikTok.
Oh, and
it's
TikTok.
Not really advertised.
Man,
We're learning TikTok.
I'm 41 and yes, I'm on TikTok.
We got to learn this stuff.
Yeah, I get notifications for my 6-year-old stuff on TikTok too. And I always look at her like, Sophia, what is this? I don't even know what TikTok is. What is TikTok? Because seriously, her phone is obviously connected to mine somehow.
Joe's doing more of it. I think we're going to make our cat, Juno, we're traveling kitty that she's leash trained. I think we're going to make that her channel is the TikTok channel. But Joe does more of the TikTok.
So what is the plan for the new van? You're going to be on the road a lot, but is there going to be like a home base for it as well?
We'll be our domicile address will be Florida, so we will still have our address in Florida, which is basically there's a spot for full-time RVers to register and get your mail service and all that stuff. And in general, we'll probably be more Central Florida, like St. Pete, Tampa, Orlando. But like for the rest of this year, we're going to be going to Wisconsin to finish the build because right now it's very rough. This was kind of our testing. We have a king-size bed in there at the moment. But we're going to take that down to queen size, put the kitchen in, really build it out like a little New York loft in a way. Awesome. And then we're going to come back to St. Pete for our timeshare, then go out to Vegas and San Diego, and then come back to Florida maybe and see what happens.
New Brianna, go ahead.
Exciting. So some of our listeners here on Facebook are asking, where's the toilet?
Oh.
Well, we don't have one right now. But we will be putting in either a composting toilet or a cassette toilet. We're not sure exactly yet.
Okay.
In our testing phase of having this van for about a year, it is kind of important to have that. A lot of people do ask if, like where we shower and stuff. We do have a membership to Planet Fitness. Their showers are actually really nice. And we probably will put in like an outdoor shower out the back. But it's more for if we're boondocking somewhere like in the middle of the desert or something. And we have friends and family around the country. So even when we try to stay in our van, people don't let us.
Right. I would imagine they would hopefully be nice and let you stay there.
But we want to stay in the van.
I know. But you feel obligated. Like,
yeah, kind of.
So one of the questions I think that come up with a lot of people people have had these thoughts of simplifying life and going to explore the world and enjoy life as opposed to being in this grind, But then people do ask, how do you have money? What's the plan for money?
Well, we do quite a few different things, and we've been pivoting and adjusting. Like we said a little bit earlier, we do have our coffee business, which we have pivoted a little bit with that, where we're focusing on more doing our catering events. We're not doing as many farmers markets and smaller events like that. The catering events, we charge by the head, and so it's a bigger bang for the buck for us and the energy. We also just added a travel business called iBoomerang. Really excited about that. As we've been planning this lifestyle, we wanted to just like roll up on our van at a 5-star resort,
Right.
and just be like, yeah, we're gonna stay here. Our logo is based on the Rolls Royce, so it's definitely a millionaire mindset type thing. Even though we might live in a van. So this new business, iBoomerang, gives us that chance to stay in 5-star resorts for cheaper prices. So
I don't know about that. Tell me about that.
So yes, it's a brand new company. It's only been around for 60 days.
Yeah.
And it is a network marketing company, but it's completely different. They're changing a lot of the flaws in the industry, and it's all about giving. So helping people save more money, and then we get a kickback. So that's the boomerang concept. The more goodwill you give out, you get some back. So that's one of our incomes.
Yeah.
And I do consulting work from the fashion industry still. We do design work for one of our clients, and we can do that on the road. So over the year, we've been maneuvering and shifting all of our income to mobile.
And do you feel like, though, you've gotten rid of the debts of the past by filing bankruptcy and really simplified the monthly bills where you think you can handle this?
Yes, definitely.
Awesome. Wait, so when do you plan on hitting the road? I mean, is there another trip actually planned? Or is it just kind of going with the flow now?
Well, tomorrow is technically the last day to get out of our house. So we're shifting everything into our storage unit. And so we do want to downsize our storage unit because we didn't realize we had that much stuff actually. So
It's a 10 by 10 space.
yeah, we want to get down to 5 by 10. Joe's like, let's leave it all. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, exactly.
But a lot of it is our equipment for our business, for our coffee business. So the second week of June, we have the Ocala Breeders Sale where we serve coffee for the thoroughbred racehorse auctions.
Okay.
And after that, we'll be going up to Wisconsin. So that's kind of the push-off point.
Awesome. Good time of year to head to Wisconsin.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, I don't go there in the winter.
Follow the Rolling Rogans and their adventures. One more time, how do we follow you?
RollingRogans.com, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, TikTok, all Rolling Rogans. Did I get them all?
No, yes, you did.
Pretty
Oh,
much.
YouTube.
YouTube as well. There you
Yeah,
go.
that's one we forgot. 'cause
Awesome. Joe and Amy Rogan, thank you for being here. Come see us anytime when you cruise through town.
Yes.
All right. If you want to check out the pictures of their new awesome van, too, go to our website or social media platform at Behind the Law Radio on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Best of luck to you guys.
Thank you
Good
very
to
much.
see you again. I don't know
Thank
much,
you.
but I do know one little thing. I will see you right back here tomorrow night on ESPN 580 Orlando.